Yo, what is going on, everyone? And welcome to a brand new edition of 27 Outs. I, of course, am Ivan alongside Stefan. We are here tonight, as you guys can tell by the title of tonight's video. The Cubs and the Marlins have created some action for us to unfold here. So, shout out to all you guys who are here nice and early. Two things I do want to say before I pass it over to Stefan is number one, I'm very excited to be here because, Stefan and I always look forward to new episodes, new content, of course, but also to be able to interact with you guys, right? But two, Stefan, I didn't tell you this yet, but I made that appointment with my barber tomorrow morning. And yeah, we finally gonna fix what's going on under here. We'll talk more about that, later tonight. But I had to put that out there. I'm a little hype. I'm gassed right now. But anyway, Stefan, what's good? How are you feeling? And let's start.
I'm good, brother. Back is a little cranky, making a little noise out here. But we good, man. Kind of thought something was gonna happen today. Kind of had the feeling. I hit you up relatively early, like, yo, we going no matter what happens. We are going. And so uh
You were on the money with that phone call, though, bro, because we were like only a few minutes into it. And then right away, it was like, well, something happened.
yeah, like I try to time it, right? I try to call you when I know I got something legitimate to talk about. And I got maybe 2 minutes into the phone call, guys, and I was like, all right, we know what we're doing tonight. Because we were gonna go irregardless what happens, right? Like I already knew, like, hey, we're gonna go. I don't know how long we plan to be there, but turns out they gave us something to talk about. I'm gonna say this off the rip. I love this trade for the Marlins and I hate it for the Cubs. I'm gonna explain why. All you Cub fans out there, don't kill me. I look at what the Cubs got in return. Owen Cassidy is going to be one of the best up and coming players in the game. I think he cracks the Marlins opening day lineup. I think the kid is that good. The one thing that you see with him is a lot of strikeouts, right? Like there's a lot of swing and miss to his game. But boy, if he gets it together, they're going to be special in Miami. You got him. You got Kyle Stowers. You got the kid or Mercy that played for them late last year. You got Xavier Edwards. The one thing I will say though, bro, is the Marlins feel very left-handed to me. They don't feel like there's enough right-handed representation in that lineup. I could be wrong. Marlin fans, if you in here, please correct me if you think I'm wrong. But you look at their lineup and it's very left-handed. Maybe that's by design, because you don't face that many lefties in the game, and you trying to want to make the opposition have to pitch to your lineup rather you moving to theirs. But I tell you, I love this for the Marlins, and for the Cubs, it's a wait and see. Last year was the first time in his career Edward Cabrera threw over 100 innings.
Right.
Right, so you want to see where his health is, because if he's healthy, this guy has one of the most dynamic arms in the game. Right, you're talking about a plus fastball, a plus changeup. His slider is excellent as well. For him, it's all about health. And the one thing I will say, and this gave me cause to pause, you rarely see a team give up a guy with 3 years of control and not have a red flag, right? And not feel like, wait, what do you know about his medicals that we don't know? And that's the one thing I took from the trade, not to be, a pessimist or negative thinker or just trying to poo-poo the Cub fans and what they got. Because boy, if it works, that depth is serious. You got him, you got Horton, you got
Mhm.
Imanaga, you got Matthew Boyd. Like, you have five legitimate starters that can get anybody out in the big leagues. But the injuries are my cause to pause in this particular moment. Trade.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the health because that's exactly where I was gonna go with my point, right? I think for the Cubs, this is a high risk, high reward type of deal. If all goes well, which sucks to say this about Cabrera, but that hasn't been the case in his career thus far, and he's been
No.
pitching for a few years now, right? But I think the Marlins knew that his value was at its best, Stefan, as you mentioned, because he had finally reached 100 innings. in a season, which is something that he had not done previously due to the amount of injuries that, he has dealt with since 2021 when he came up with the team. Um, and I think they understand, like, listen, we understand that history is going to repeat itself. And unfortunately, it seems like the Cubs, on the other hand, believe that 2025 is probably what he could do again, right? And if you're a Cubs fan, I think that's exactly what you're hoping for.
Well, you hope that his age, right? Because how old is he? 27?
27, around there, late 20s.
Right. So, like, you hope his age and his body continue to progress, because if he's healthy, he's probably the second best pitcher, right? Stuff wise. I know the numbers. He had a 450 ERA the season before. He was in the high fours again the previous season. So 2023 and 2024 wasn't his best output in terms of ERA, and he didn't have a lot of swing and miss, right? So the thing that I always come back to in trades like this, with his stuff, with how elite his changeup is, I'm surprised his swing and miss isn't better. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but he's only at, I think it was 7.9 Ks per nine. He wasn't, usually when you got stuff like that, you see guys in 10 and a half Ks per nine, almost 11 Ks per nine. He didn't strike out a lot of guys. So I'm wondering, if getting him in Chicago, getting him with Tommy Hotaby, getting him with the staff, if he's able to, strike out more guys and be more efficient with his pitches. Because the one thing we do know is that this guy's a 5-and-fly guy. He doesn't go deep into games historically because he does strike out a lot of guys and he wastes a lot of pitches. So I wonder if a new change of scenery, if a new way of looking at him, and you get him, with the Cubs analytical people, listen, it's worth the risk because of his age and because of what he could be. You have 3 years of club control, which a lot of teams don't get nowadays. But I don't hate it if I'm the Marlins getting off of that. Hopefully, Cassie is somebody we can use, and he can be a big part of our team moving forward. But it feels like a win for the Marlins, and it feels like a wait and see for the Cubs. And that's how I'm going to approach it. As much as Cub fans, you want to think, hey, what is possible if this guy's on the mound for 25 to 28 starts? I think you'll take it and run. The question is, does he even get that many starts?
Right, exactly. And who's to say that he's even going to be ready for opening day, right? Not to wish anything bad on him, but he sounds like a type of guy that could, literally break down on any given day. But one thing that I did also want to say about the Cubs too, I love it for what it could be, right? And what it could be is what you just mentioned there, Stefan. Like, if they're able to get him to pitch maybe 25 to 28 starts, we saw what he did this past season with the Marlins and how exactly that turned out for him to finally put it all together. But this cannot be it for me, right? And I think Cubs fans are also waiting. Like, we already know Cody Bellinger's not coming back, right? Well, not Cody Bellinger, excuse me, Kyle Tucker, rather. Kyle Tucker's not coming back. But what's your answer in terms of now having to add a bat, right? Because you can't do all of this without bringing something to that lineup after watching Kyle Tucker walk away.
So I don't know if I'm going to say Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger won't be back in Chicago. I think it's unfair to assume that neither of them will be back. Neither of them won't be back at this point.
So there's a chance, you think, right?
Of course. If you're going to tell me it's a 4-year deal, it's a 3-year deal with a 4th-year option, anything is on the table. Because obviously, if we're talking about 6 or 7 years, then I think you're talking about legitimate concerns about how far do you want to go, right? There's a reason why they've re-engaged in the Cody Bellinger market. Cody Bellinger back in Chicago that'd be funny. And I'm not ruling out Kyle Tucker either, because if 4 years it's all it's going to take, if you're the Ricketts family, if you're Tom Ricketts, the owner of the Chicago Cubs, this is basically Christmas falling into your lap. You have to do something about this. I could understand if you didn't want to go 7 years. I can understand if you didn't even want to go 4 or 5 or 6 years, I would have gotten. But if you're telling me there's a chance I could get him at 3 or 4 years with an AAV at close to $40 million, you got to do it. Because that pitching, you can't rely on that pitch. You can't win every game 2-1. You just can't. You can't win every game 2-1. And I also think there's going to be a point where they trade Nico Horner. So you're going to have to replace that offense too at some point, right? Like Nico Horner is a free agent at the end of the season, and he's making 12, I think anywhere from, I think I read somewhere $12 million. So you're going to have to replace that at some point. The question is, how far do the Cubs want to go in doing so, right? Like,
Right.
what is your price point? Like, to me, the Cubs are a bit of a conundrum, and I'm going to explain why they're a bit of a conundrum. Matt Shaw is probably going to play third for them. All right. Michael Busch is your first baseman. All right. So it feels like Bo Bichette is a fit to me. Alex Bregman is more of a fit to me. Right. Like, I don't necessarily know if they're going to play in the Bellinger, in the Tucker part of the pool.
Yeah.
But if it all remains equal, and again, it's not my money, your money to spend. It's easy for us to sit behind these microphones and say what they should do. But it makes sense to me that you at least try to investigate what it would look like if you went that route. If you shot at the top of the market and said, hey, we want one of these players, what would that look like for us? You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you say that because I remember on the previous show, we had talked about Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker, having to, come back down to earth just a bit, right? In terms of, not just dollar amount, but maybe years, right? Depending on what exactly they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that you had mentioned is, when you go from talking about 7 to 8 years to now maybe 5 or 6, if you're lucky, right? But now you got teams who are willing to maybe give you 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right, with very high AAV. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
a team like the Cubs, for example, could be like, yo, you know what you guys were asking for back in December, November, maybe not, but here in January, absolutely. Like, we'll join that sweepstakes.
At some point, you have to look at it from this particular standpoint. Spring training's in less than 6 weeks.
Crazy to say, by the way.
Right? So you can't sit here and play games and say, well, I'm going to see what the market bears out for me. You can't do that. Like, I find it interesting now that teams like the Mets are being thrown into the Kyle Tucker market, and teams like the Cubs are being thrown into the Cody Bellinger market. And now we're seeing the Giants are in the mix, the Dodgers in the mix again for Cody and for Tucker, right? One of those two players could be there. Like, it feels like both these agents want one of these big market teams to move, and the big market teams are like, nah, we're not ready yet, because you're still asking for something that's unreasonable. Like, the Yankees made a second offer to Cody Bellinger over the weekend, and this thing, I looked at it, I was like, it's not going to get it done, man. Even for me, that's not going to get it done.
I was just gonna ask you about that because I know you talked about the formal offer and then now you talked about the second offer. I personally have not like come across like numbers, years. Do you know anything along those lines? Or it would be interesting because like talking about number 1, number 2 now. Is there gonna be a third?
The Yankee, well, there's gonna be a 4th or 5th offer if you want to get this finished.
Damn, okay.
Because here's what the art of negotiation is about: getting you close enough to where you're uncomfortable. If you're Scott Boras for Cody Bellinger, you want to get the Yankees uncomfortable. If you're Kyle Tucker and you're Casey Close, you want to get the Cubs or the Blue Jays or somebody like that uncomfortable enough to meet your asking price. The question then becomes to me is, how uncomfortable are we willing to get in a market where both these players feel like they have significant flaws to their game? They have significant flaws. None of these players are perfect. Both these players are far from perfect. Both these players have question marks as to what type of players they're going to be as they age, especially for Cody Bellinger, who is older. And also, we don't know how his swing is going to profile outside of Yankee Stadium, because this is the first year where you looked at him and said, oh, this is the Cody Bellinger I remember now. It doesn't hurt that you're hitting in Yankee Stadium and you have Judge hitting behind you. If I'm the Yankees and if I'm whoever is pursuing these free agents, I say, listen, I feel like we're playing a game of chicken here. When you guys get serious about what you want to do, call me back, man, because I'm not going to keep bidding against myself.
Yeah.
Right? If Cody Bellinger ends up with the Mets, God bless him. Go to Queen, go to Flushing. It was nice doing business with you. I'm not playing this game because this is the problem. We just spoke about it on the last episode we did. Look, I'm gonna tell you something right now. This may be me being hyperbolic or me being a bit of a, oh, you're being too dramatic. I don't want Cody Bellinger back at this point.
Wow.
Enough of the dog and pony show. You ain't one of them. You ain't.
You were Juan Soto's replacement. You could look at that, that way too.
Well, okay, but you ain't him. You ain't one of them.
See, but here's the thing that worries me, right? Now that we're on this topic of, Cody Bellinger and the Yankees, of course, and the other teams, right? Because we still don't know where exactly it is that these guys, want to end up when it's all said and done. But so, for example, right, a year ago, well, by now we had already known that Juan Soto was a Met, but just dating back to last offseason, right, we already knew as Yankee fans, look, if we don't get Juan Soto, we're going to pivot and get Cody Bellinger, which is ultimately what happened, right? Here's the thing. Now we're in a similar situation. However, what is plan B? We understand plan A, and I know you just shared how you feel about plan A, and I respect it, right? But what is plan B for the Yankees? I genuinely would like to know, because what if Cody Bellinger goes to, like you said, to Queens, or maybe he wants, I want to go back to LA, win a ring there. He can go anywhere, right? I think the ball is on his court right now. Literally. I think there might be two balls. I think one rock is for Scott Boras, and I think the second rock is for Cody Bellinger. They're in a very good position right now.
They are. And you could tell the Yankees, listen, take a short walk, take a long walk off a short bridge, because we got suitors out here, and I'm fine with whatever happens. Here's where I'm going to come to the Yankees' defense, though. I don't care what plan B is, because your plan A ain't that good to begin with. You cannot replicate. There's nobody on the market that I'm like, they have to go get. There's nobody on the trade market either that they have to go get. I like Bo Bichette, but you have to make the money work, and then you got to trade a McMahon, or you got to trade a Chisholm, and then you got to get uncomfortable. No. Listen, gonna say it. Sucks to say it. Punt 2026. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. I've said this several times before. 2024 was your window. That was it. That was it. Now you see why I've been saying to you, yo, I don't see where is a plan B. There is no plan B. You got to get creative with a plan B. And here's the thing about getting creative with a plan B. The problem with getting creative with a plan B is Brian Cashman might want to outsmart everybody, right? Where he might think of, oh, let's pull a rabbit out the hat. Nobody expected us to do this. Let's go take the shot. I don't know where that is.
Right.
I don't know where that trade is. I don't know what the acquisition is. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I will tell you this. I'm willing to sacrifice the rest of Cole and Judge's primes or whatever's left, because you at some point you just got to throw up your hands and say it's not feasible at this point.
Wait, so are you? I want to ask you something about what you just said there to wrap that up. Or are you saying that, like the next couple of seasons, like to hell with that? Because that's what it sounds like to me. That's hard, man. That's tough.
Essentially, that's what I'm saying.
Because I know you have been saying this from, the moment the final out was made of the 2024 World Series, right, between the Yankees and the Dodgers. And you just said it a couple minutes ago. You've always, stood 10 toes when it came to this. Yo, that was their best shot. I had told you that 2025 I wasn't big about anyway, so who cares how that ended up. but I was pretty big, not as much as 2024, because 2024, I told you as a Yankee fan, and I don't know if a lot of you guys felt this way. Going into 2024, I felt the same way going into 2009. Mick Forrester, nice to see you. I know you're a Cubs fan, bro, so welcome.
Oh, look.
But I say that to finish the point because, 2026 with the pitching coming back and what it could be, obviously it may not be exactly that, right? That's wishing upon a star, and a star that is not going to work in our favor. But damn, it's crazy because if you're going to say to hell with 2026, then who really cares about what the Yankees look like in 27, 28? I don't care.
And that's my point. Welcome. You are now starting to see what I'm trying to say. Toronto's better. The Orioles are better. Tampa's going to be better because it's what they do, right? I'm tired of playing this game. I'm tired. Like, get off of them. Like, yo, Toronto, go run this division. Yo, Baltimore, go make this interesting. Enough. I actually want the Cubs to sign one of these free agents, whether it's Bellinger or if Tucker is in the 3-4 year range, the Cubs should do that.
Yeah.
Because you don't let me put it to you this way. If you're the Cubs, you don't make the trade you just made and stop at this point. That you just can't do that. I don't see them being in on the Bregman stuff, right? Like Bregman feels like it's a little tough for me, right? I don't see them being in on the Bichette stuff either. Although Bo Bichette might be more of a realistic fit, depending on if you could make what they do at second, right?
Yeah.
I'm at the point now where I kind of want to see what these other teams do, right? I want to see what the other teams do.
And also, I know, just to go back to this quickly, when it comes to Tucker and Bellinger, who's going to be the first domino to fall? Like, is Bellinger waiting for Kyle Tucker? Is Kyle Tucker waiting for Bellinger? Like, what the hell is really going on here?
So I'll tell you what I think.
You know why I say that, Stephen, right?
No.
Sometimes, in this case, one player, but sometimes you have a few players waiting for like that one guy to get signed.
Right.
For everybody else to kind of get a feel for like, all right, this is what's out there for us.
So I do think that Scott would prefer if Kyle Tucker got signed first, Scott Boras. So at least he has a benchmark. Like, I now know what this cost, right? I now know what makes sense. Like, if, let's say Kyle Tucker gets a 4-year deal for 40 million or something like that, at least he has a benchmark, right? It's at least one of those things where if you shoot for the moon and you might get it, especially on a shorter AAV, that puts you in a better spot. That's why I kind of want to see, I kind of think Tucker goes first. And I find it fascinating that the Blue Jays are still involved with this.
Mm-hmm.
But after the Cubs, what they made today, after that trade, the Cubs definitely need a big bat. So I want to see the Cubs at the forefront of every offensive player that's left in this market, because you can't go into 2026 with this lineup. I like Seiya Suzuki a lot. I like Michael Busch a lot. But you need something in the middle of that lineup to protect those guys.
Yeah, more firepower.
The middle of your lineup you have to solidify it at some point. So I want to see what Jed Hoyer does. Like, at this point, I want to see Jed Hoyer take a risk. Like today, he took a risk. Trading for Cabrera was a risk.
Mm-hmm.
But he did it because, one, now you're rolling with at least 4 starters deep. So that's a risk you have to take.
There was another guy who I didn't mention who he's kind of like, if you really look at it, the Cubs rotation is about 6 or 7 guys deep, right?
Yeah.
I know last season we were finally able to see Cade Horton, who, by the way, I thought should have won Rookie of the Year. No shade to the catcher. What's his name? Drake Baldwin.
Drake Baldwin from Atlanta. Yeah.
Right. No shade to him, but I personally really was a fan of what Cade Horton did after
Yeah.
Justin Steele had went down, because
Yeah.
remember, he had only made a few starts for them.
Before
And then
his
it was like, holy cow, who do we
Yeah.
have? And then Horton was like, yo, no worries. I'm here to save the day. But they also got Colin Ray. Like, Colin Ray is a guy who, any one of these guys go down, he's like next man up, you know?
They have pitching depth, which is the perfect thing to have, especially in this day and age where you know at least one or two starters are going to get hurt. So you just have to have a preventive measure. The question is, though, is also what happens to the rest of the division, right? Because if Freddie Peralta gets traded out of Milwaukee, that also makes them weaker too.
Yeah, big time.
Right? So you have to look at what what makes sense for you as a club. If you see the Brewers taking a step back, the Reds, we understand the Reds are kind of in this weird contention, but like rebuild. It's kind of difficult to say where the Reds are in particular. I'd like to see what the Cubs do in this particular instance, and the Cardinals are in a full-blown rebuild. So I think at this point, there's a point where you have to have real conversations with yourself as to what does player acquisition look like, and do you want to put your chips in the middle of the table because the division around you is bad? And to address this point, because I think Rick makes a great point here. The players are asking for way too much. These players think they can bounce off. Yeah, that's a good point, right?
Yeah.
But I also think if these players weren't represented by these particular agents, more notably Scott Boras, I think we'll be having a different conversation. I think what we have to understand is Scott Boras doesn't work for you. You kind of work for him, right?
Because he just adds you to the list of his portfolio.
Right. Yeah. And TD with a point here with a lockout on the way too. That's a great point by TD.
You know, I did want to say though, in regards to Rick's comment there, Rick, I felt that same way, but I'd go, 1 year behind. I was saying that, and I told you this too, Stefan, since Shohei Ohtani got that deal he got from the Dodgers, and I started hearing, the rumors about what Juan Soto could get, 557. I was like, wait, hold on. So now we're going to have a free agent damn near every offseason signed for this amount of money? But, it's a great point. You brought it up, though.
See, but here's where I'm going to be all about the business and not care about nobody's feelings when I make this point, because fuck these players. I hope none of them get over 5 years. I hope you have to eat humble pie and you all have to take 2 or 3 year deals with multiple opt-outs because you played yourself. I hope and pray, especially Bellinger, because you think you hot shit. Go ahead. Play yourself again. You just signed for 3 years at 80. We just did this with you. And you playing again? Who you think you are, bro? You had 3 solid seasons. You were an MVP level. You talking about you want anywhere between 30 and 35. You know what you could do with that 30 and 35? Shove that where the sun don't shine, my boy, because nobody in their right mind should do this. Make these players pay. You want to play games? All right, go back in the market again when there's going to be a lockout. Keep playing yourself. And then you can't blame the fans who say, yo, you know what? You can't blame the fans who say, yo, these players, they doing too much. They doing too much. I don't blame the Yankees or whoever if they say, hold up, dude. We offering you 5 years between 30 to 32. Last I checked, you wasn't making no real bread. You had a prove it deal, and you proved yourself 1 year, and now you want to act like you hot stuff? I'm trying not to curse because I don't know who's watching. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, at some point, I'm gonna tell you, and it is a lockout that's scaring these teams away. And you know what? Good on them. Good on them. Don't let nobody play y'all. If these players all want to sit here, oh, but open up your books, oh, but open up your books, and oh, but open up your book. Listen, Terry Scooble's gonna get 400 million. Paul Skeens is gonna get 700 million. The rest of y'all can go to sleep. I'm being
Seven as a pitcher is
I,
crazy.
no, I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious with that. But you get where I'm going though.
No, I think if Scooble gets 4, Keen's got to get 5, maybe 450. Yeah,
Maybe
seriously.
close to 6 because he's younger.
Yes.
Right? So, like, yo, y'all not all them. Y'all not them. Who died and said, oh, these guys are them? Right? Like, Cody Bellinger, you won 1 MVP. Stop it. Stop it. Kyle Tucker, you played in Houston all them years, bruh. You ain't playing a big market. We don't know if you can handle a big market. And I'd be boober the fool to hand you a big dollar contract. Jim Bowden on foul territory talking about, oh, I see Kyle Tucker getting anywhere from 8 to 10 years. You know what, Jim Bowden? That's why you don't got a job no more. Go to sleep. Take your nighttime pills. Go to sleep.
Is he still saying that regarding the years, or was he saying that previously?
He's been saying, oh, I can see Tucker getting anywhere from 10 to 12. Go to sleep.
Wow.
Go take a Xanax and go drool on your pillow. Go to bed. Go to bed.
I kind of feel like the vibe right now in just Major League Baseball, right, across all 30 ball clubs, I don't think anybody wants to have conversations regarding 10 years.
And nor should you.
Yeah.
Like, look, can we have a realistic conversation? What's it going to look like when these brothers are 34, 35, 36 years old? Because everybody, oh, you sign for now. You worried about them later. You sign for now. You sign for now. You sign for now. No, you don't sign for now. You sign for as much money as you could get. This is a business. You know what happens? I'm gonna make an easy comparison so you guys can understand. To me, these players are like cars. These players are like cars. Once the car gets off the lot and it starts to get mileage and wear and tear on the tires, the car's value goes down. So you want me to pay for a car that's already got 150,000 miles on it? Yeah, the car may look good in mint condition, but that shit probably drives like cheeks.
You're right.
Come on, bro.
No, that's a great analogy, right? Like, especially for somebody who isn't a baseball fan. Like, when you paint it that way, like it has to be something that's understood at that point.
And then here's the other thing, right? Then you feed the garbage of, oh, but this is this, and these players are deserving. They work hard. Nobody's saying they're not deserving of getting paid. But when you start to look at it as what it is, there's a limit to even what they should be paid. Because what happens to the general guy who is on a fixed income, who's broke, who can only go to 1 or 2 games a year, but you sitting here giving these players that ain't worth no money, anywhere from 10 to 12 years at 30 to 40 million a year? In what world? On what planet? Because it sure ain't Earth. Hell no. And look, this is why the trade market is running this offseason. Where has the major stuff gone down? It's gone down in the trade market.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the trade market is transactional, but it's transactional that you could at least get a handle on. Free agency, you don't know if a guy's going to go to a city and crap out and he's never going to be the same player again. What are we talking about?
And the good thing about trades too, I know certain teams like to get off of, terrible deals if they're lucky enough to be able to.
Yeah.
But the thing with trades is it doesn't have to be about the funds, right? Like at that point, it doesn't matter whether you're a big market team or not. Yeah. When it comes to trades, it's a fair game. It's just a matter of whether you know how to come out on top or not.
Can you line up? Can you line up? Can you get the pieces going in the same direction? Yeah. And that's why, to me, listen, Miami, I'm going to give Miami their flowers. Peter Bendix is doing a great job in Miami. With the young players that he stockpiled and the pitching depth that he stockpiled and the trades he's able to make. And this feels like very Tampa Bay-ish esque. This feels very Rays esque. Yo, let me get off a player before his arm completely blows up. He had a great year for me. All right, let me recoup some assets real quick.
They know.
Oh, by the way, I get to pay a 20. I get to trade for a 23-year-old that's not arbitration eligible for another 4 years. Oh, I won. I won. I got the golden ticket because irregardless what Casey does, I won. Right? He's 23. I traded a pitcher that's 27 with arm trouble. He got shut down the last 2 months of the season with arm trouble last year.
Yeah.
He did not pitch. So if you're the Cubs, you won in that regard. Listen, this is why it's not about what deals you can make, because anybody can make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is a good. I want to answer both of these. Hold on. Razor says, do you think the contracts being signed are getting scarce now? Wait till the MLB. Yeah, that's a great point. Look, can we go here? Razor, you opened up a can of worms. I wasn't even planning on going here tonight. But
we talked about it briefly on the last show.
Yeah, but there's something else that I want to get into, just because it feels like there's turbulence in the international market right now, right? With everything happening in Venezuela, we send our thoughts and prayers to the Venezuelan people. Like, please be safe, be careful. That's some scary stuff happening down there. The reason why I'm saying this is because if teams now know that the international market is going to be it's going to be unstable for a while, because we don't know what's going to happen globally in terms of politically and all that type of stuff. And I'm not getting into none of that. I'm just saying the turbulence in which now we don't know if these players are going to be able to be signed. We don't know if these players are going to be able to have certain privileges like they used to, right? How does the country work with Major League Baseball in terms of allowing their players to play in the Venezuelan league, and how you scout talent and how you do things now,
right?
Where that's going to play a bigger role, because I don't think it's just happening in Venezuela. I think it's going to be something you see now moving forward, right? And so I think there's a thing now where we look at it and we say to ourselves, how much of a factor is this going to play moving forward? Because now we can't get comfortable with, signing player Y or player X at 16, 17 years old. Now we got to make sure that there are parameters in place to protect these players as well as these organizations. So is there going to be a certain level of, let's throw money at this free agent. Let's throw money at this particular player, especially when we don't know how the ecosystem of baseball is going to move, especially moving forward. That's why that trading draft picks that Rick brought up, that's a very valuable point that not very many people seem to be talking about, especially with the unrest that's happening around the world right now.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point, especially when you consider the time that it could take for a player, depending on, where the country may be. I know you used the Venezuela as an example, but you want to make sure that the transition from wherever they're coming from to over here is a smooth one. And I know when you have a lot of issues happening in the real world, right, outside of sports, it could kind of make that difficult, so
it complicates things. And so that's why I also think that trading players is going to be the way of currency now. It's kind of what they do in the NBA, where I could see a player saying, "Yo, I'll sign a 5-year deal for X amount of dollars, but I want a no trade clause put in, because I want to control where I want to go, what I want to do, how I want to move." This is gonna allow more player empowerment to be able to move around the game, because the free agent market is going to become obsolete, right? Because free agency, these players are just asking for too much, and you're not getting free agents at the point in which they're most valuable, right? Like, you're getting them when they're 27, 28, 29, sometimes 30, 31. So trades just make more sense from a business standpoint. And that's why I openly wonder out loud, and I'm just speaking out loud. I openly wonder out loud if this is the dose of reality that the Players Association needed, that Tony Clark needed, that everybody in that camp needed to realize, oh, no, no, no. This is a different day. This is a different game because we are now realizing value is of much more import to us than what the name on the back of the baseball card, right? Like value means something to us, especially with a heavy analytical game where it's all about advanced numbers, how a player ages, what is his range, what is all that. Like players are now being put under a microscope way more.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, and I'm asking you, have you thought about it that deeply? If you haven't, I'm sorry that I broke your brain.
No, I'm honest with you, bro. Sometimes I do think about things that deeply. Other times, no. This would be an example of me not. But once I hear you getting into the flow of things and it's starting to make sense, it all starts to click, So I understand where it comes from.
Because, like, listeners, I gotta ask you guys, like,
chat definitely. I do want to know what you guys are thinking.
Does it frustrate you at all? I guess is the question I'm gonna ask. Because I sit here, bro, and it frustrates me. Like there's a deep rooted frustration with. It feels like the league doesn't care about its own game, and it feels as if we're just trying to cobble it together and see what else happens, right? Where it's like, how do you explain this to your fan base? How do you tell your fan base, yo, this is how you're going to have to do business moving forward? That really sucks. That's a tough pill to swallow. And these free agents are paying for it. Right? These free agents are really paying for it. Like Ranger Suarez should be pitching for somebody right now.
By now, yeah.
But nobody's going to move until we figure out what's happening at the top of this offensive market.
It's a damn shame.
Framber Valdez should be pitching for somebody right now.
Is it safe to say, and today is January 7th, right? To be exact. Is it safe to say, now we still got, 3 weeks left, a little more than 3 weeks left, to wrap up this month. But, it might be safe to say that we could be going into February, maybe, with the same BS. I hope it doesn't take that long, right? Because then that means there's going to be a slight holdup in content.
I'm going to be honest. I think we're there.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm going to be careful how I word this because I don't know who's watching this pod, but or the show.
Joey, Happy New Year, bro. I see you.
What's up, Joe? I'm trying to compose myself because the stuff that I really want to say, I can't say, or I might get my phone might ring. You feel me? And when your phone rings and it's different area codes and you know who's calling to say what, it's nasty. Right. I'm telling you right now. And why? And this is the thing that frustrates me too. It's all the same teams, right? The Cubs, the Blue Jays, the Dodgers, the Mets, the this, the that, the this. Right? I feel like a DMX song. I feel like he used that flow somewhere. It feels like the same teams are so invested in this, and it's like, where do we get a change? Like, I kind of want to see, and I'm not saying that they got to go crazy, but I'd like to see Seattle jump into this mix and sign a free agent. I like to see Arizona remain aggressive.
Well, doesn't Seattle still need to figure out their answer to losing Jorge Polanco?
And you lost Suarez too.
Right, yeah.
So you got to figure out what you're doing with Polanco. You got to figure out what you're doing with Suarez. I'd like to see them add to the back end of that bullpen, if at all possible. I know they made a trade with the Mariners earlier this offseason, but I'd like to see them augment that a little more. Like, there's teams around the game that need to do stuff. The Astros still need a backup catcher. We talked about this. Right. They need to figure out the backup catcher spot, and they got to figure out left field. You got to do something.
Now that we're talking about these other teams who are very much in contention, right? Especially the Mariners. being a good example, making it all the way to the ALCS against the Blue Jays, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with these big market teams not necessarily wanting to get involved with, the guys that are still available.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it's a lot more difficult for some of these other teams that we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
But does it now seem like the perfect time for who the hell knows, a random team to just snag a Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger and say, yo, you know what? It is almost February. Y'all are still here going back and forth. I want
Yeah, man.
this. I don't want to give it to you. I would love to see that, by the way. And I hope it happens.
See, this is what baseball's missing out. Because I put cameras in these negotiating rooms, brother. Oh, yeah. You want to talk about real reality? That's real, bro. You see what you just said right there?
Yeah.
That's written that because they won't do it. I understand you're violating players' privacy. Again, I get it. But if the offseason is gonna be this slow, goddamn, give us something. Because at least me and you have something to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I will say that it's an interesting proposition to see all these teams try to cry broke, and you realize you guys ain't broke. You guys just don't like what's on this market, right? Because
Yeah.
I also think about supply and demand. By the way, that's a great signing for the Rockies. Armand came in here on his Jeff Pass and dropping mini nukes on us.
Oh, Michael Lorenzen, former Royal. Shrek
Going
is not here, but
going to the Rock. Listen, that's a good get for the Rockies. Here's why that's a good get for the Rockies. That's a good get for the Rockies because you need veterans in the clubhouse. Pitching in Colorado is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Former Red too, yeah. I wonder if he's semi decent. Somebody might try to trade for Michael Lorenzen at the deadline and closer to contention time. 1 year, $8 million to go pitch in Colorado. That's like damn near a golden ticket. So good for the Rockies getting that done. And damn, what does it say about Michael Lorenzen's market when you got to settle for a 1 year, $8 million deal in Colorado?
I mean, listen, when we're
That's
talking about the top guys not wanting to, or not wanting to, excuse me, but not getting what they're asking for, you
yeah.
kind of got guys like a Michael Lorenzen having to listen. I'll take it.
I mean, and at some point though, there has to be I feel like there has to be regression back to the mean where we value veteran position players. Like you got guys like Anthony Rizzo retiring. You got guys like Joe Kelly. Now Joe Kelly hung it up because I don't think he pitched last year and he was dealing with some stuff, but he hung it up. There's a couple guys recently that hung it up, and so it's like it just shows you where the market is, and it's really depressing. I'm serious. This is disgusting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is disgusting. Like where I'm gonna be honest with you. You telling me the Reds couldn't use the Michael Lorenzen, the Royals couldn't use a Michael Lorenzen, the Tigers couldn't use a Michael Lorenzen in the back end of their bullpen, or you got teams out here that can do some things that choose not to, and it's infuriating because y'all don't got it all together.
Right.
Yeah, the Tigers definitely don't got it all together. The Reds don't got it all together. And you sitting here passing up free agents like you can? All right.
The Tigers especially, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like I guess they've made it clear that they want to hold on to Tariq Skubal, but not adding on to that makes entirely no sense. But he's yours, right? When it comes to the contract, and if you want to get technical, he still belongs to the Tigers. At least for this year, right? By the way, it looks like we have somebody new here. The name is crazy, by the way. Massive Fart. You know who this person is, Stefan, or no?
Yes, he subscribed to the
do? Oh, okay. Welcome, bro. Welcome.
Real quick, we got a major NBA trade, which I'm gonna get to at the end of the show. Trae Young is now in the DC. He's in a Wizard uniform. Trae Young has just been traded.
Wow, so, Trae Young. I did hear about him and the Hawks trying to like figure something out.
I mean, he nothing to figure out. That brother quit. He was like, "Me,
Jules, we see you. Let's get to the chat, bro. We 50 minutes in. I didn't even notice that. Yo, if you would have asked me where we at right now in the show without looking at the time, I would have said we like 35 minutes in. I
yeah."
just looked up. It said 50. Jules, what up? We see you, TD, Chef Mamba. Shout out to everybody, man. By the way, McForrester, I know I shouted you out for being a Cubs fan. Stefan, I don't know if he watches the show, but he is a big supporter of us on TikTok. You know, the mayor of Chicago dude, he be tapped in with the
Oh yeah,
show, period. I don't know if he watches the full show, but
yeah,
he loves the
yeah.
clips, you know. So
No,
shout
yeah,
out to him if he's watching. Who
yeah.
knows?
No, he's always showing love. Listen, I have to ask a fun question. I am a better point guard than Trae Young right now. I have to ask an interesting question. What is the most disappointing part of this off season for you guys? Open forum time. Let's just have fun. Where are you guys most disappointed? Please rant. Don't make me seem like I'm the only crazy one in here that's upset with
Right.
all this.
Well, for me, I think it's not that I think everyone should be signed by now, right? Even though a guy like Stefan would go on and say, like, well, I think so. But I say that in terms of the names who have, not only come up tonight, but of course throughout this off season. Cody
Yeah.
Bellinger, Kyle Tucker,
Mhm.
Framber Valdez, Ranger
Yeah.
Suarez, like I would have thought at least half, I'll be nice, at least half of those guys would have signed by now, and they're all still available.
So, according to the Athletic Big Board, I was reading this today. According to Ken Rosenthal of the Athletic, 20 of the 50 free agents that are still on the Athletics Big Board are still available.
Wow.
20 of the 50, bro. That's insane, and it's January 7th. Well, at what point do you want to get a crack at Valentine's Day?
Hey, Valentine's Day, who knows, man? I mean, listen, some of these guys might want to have their deals wrapped up by then, depending on where they want to go with their girls, their wives, You might want to use some of that bread.
Also, if you playing in the Classic and you a free agent, you got to figure out where the hell you going.
Yeah, yeah.
Like most guys, that's why most guys aren't playing in the class. Most free agents aren't playing in the Classic because they got to figure out where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what made me laugh today is that you hear the Angels involved in the Cody Bellinger market. I'm like, yo, he must be desperate if we're sitting here throwing out the Angels as a real threat for Cody
But
Bellinger.
that's why I said what I said in terms of like the ball being like on his core. He could really go wherever because we've seen it happen. And most recently with finally they came to an agreement. They bought him out, so he's no longer going to be on the team. But that Anthony Rendon deal, like I'm glad. I'm not even an Angels fan, but I am so happy for the organization, for the fan base, that everybody gets to kumbaya all over again, But the Angels are a team that would say, screw it. They've done it before.
See, but this is why the Angels are stupid, and I'm not happy for them at all.
They're not even for Rendon being gone?
No.
Damn.
Because your stupid ass, you shouldn't have gave him that contract to begin with in the first place.
True, yeah.
And now you're going to double down and go sign Nolan. You're going to go trade for Nolan Arenado? Artie Moreno needs to be put in jail.
Wait, did they reach out to the Cards?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Artie Moreno needs to be put in federal prison.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I'm telling you? Federal arrest that man for malfeasance.
Security?
If malfeasance was a charge, he should be charged with it and thrown under the jail and throw the key away. Tell the key, yo, we don't put that man in federal maximum state penitentiary prison. Yo, dog, you gotta go away. Either they gotta diagnose you with Alzheimer's, or you out here just sabotaging the world. You gotta go away, because you're gonna go from Anthony Rendon to Nolan Arenado and not blink. If I'm Perry Manazian, I'm quitting the job right now. I'm walking off the job. If you make me trade for this dude, Ivan, I swear. Oh, but there's only 29 other jobs and you can't walk away. And my boy, I'm leaving. I'm quitting. I'm putting my key fob on the desk. I'm leaving the computer open and I'm writing on a post-it note. I quit. Are you kidding me? This is what we're going to do. Have you not learned from Mike Trout? Have you not learned from CJ Wilson? Have you not learned from Albert Pujols? Have you not learned from Anthony Rendon?
For real.
And then they wonder why. Oh, Steph, why are you so emotional? Why do you care? Why do I care? This is bad for the game. This is bad. I'm sorry. This is bad for the game. Letting the Angels continue to stew in their own filth is bad for the game. Honestly, yo, if it was up to me, yo, you don't even belong in the state of California. Go play in friggin' somewhere else. Go away. I'm tired. And then, they're all tell you, oh, but at least Artie's trying. What are you trying to do? Now I don't feel bad for Mike Trout because I used to feel bad for the brother. Damn, they ain't trying. They ain't trying to win. I feel bad. Like, what the hell?
Me too, yeah.
I don't feel bad.
Not anymore.
I don't feel bad.
Especially, and I saw a comment a couple minutes ago that said something about like Ohtani. Especially after that Ohtani situation and how that ended, I definitely don't feel bad. Because that getting rid of Ohtani in that final year would have, I think, had them, not right by now, but, preparing for that.
Yo, dog.
But then again, they're the Angels, to go back to your point, and they might just fumble the whole damn thing,
Yo, dog, the Angels are the Cleveland Browns of baseball. They're that level bad. They're that level bad. I'm dead serious.
I don't know about the Browns. They trash or
what? Yo, dog. There's the Browns, there's the Jets, and then there's no, I'm lying. There's the 10 pounds of crap that's sitting on top of the garbage disposal, right? Then there's the Angels, then there's the Browns, then there's the Jets. But the Jets are below 15 other levels of garbage that you can't even see through.
Damn.
Right? We talk about the level of malfeasance that is attributed to these franchises. What do you want us to do? And I'm sorry, Angel fans, if you come across this video, oh, but why are you talking so bad about my team? What?
You should be thankful we're even covering them now. Let me stop.
Right. Like, I'm never going to talk this much Angels during the regular season ever again.
It's a shame, It
like,
really is.
I feel bad for Mark Gubiza and Wayne Randazzo that have to sit. By the way, I don't feel that bad for them because you sitting in, the lap of luxury every day. You talking about 100-degree nice weather. The Yam Means is nice. The taxes is crazy, but the weather's crazy. The food's crazy. Know what I mean? The Yam Means if you single, that's nice. But boy, I gotta watch this.
I'd rather watch the Athletics, to be honest. At least that lineup is fun to watch,
Try.
Yeah.
And then here's the other thing, right? Like this.
They got to figure out what they're gonna do with the name, though, too. By the way.
Well, I mean, that's another thing for another. That's another conversation for another time, which I don't have the brain bandwidth.
Yo, you know what's funny? I saw this random video on TikTok. By the way, guys, make sure you guys are following us on, everywhere. Like today's video, of course. Subscribe if you're new here.
Listen, there better be 11 likes on this video by the time we get off this bad boy. You heard?
Yes. So I saw this video. So remember, the Mets had made the deal for Jeff McNeil to send him to the A's. And I believe there was a Mets fan on TikTok where he made a video and it was basically him saying, "Oh, so the Mets basically just traded Jeff McNeil to the Las Vegas A's, the Oakland A's, whatever the fuck." Because like, what do we call them now? But it's funny. It just came to my mind because even other baseball fans are like, "Yo, what the hell are we gonna be calling these guys for the next couple of years? Like, we don't even know."
Yo, dog, you know what you call them? You call them the Nomads. The Nomad A's. Y'all don't even deserve to get a you know what they are? They're the sack Oakland Sac Oak Vegas A's. Well, however you want to pronounce it. Y'all got like 3 different. Put the A's to sleep. Yeah, another one. Put the A's to sleep. The homeless A's.
Yo, Armand, you won with that comment, bro. He said the homeless A's. That fits. That fits. If you're an A's fan, I don't think we've ever come across an Athletics fan on the platform, but if you are, is that how you guys feel about the team right now?
I mean, they ain't got a home. They're literally homeless.
Yo, anybody got like an abandoned like minor league ballpark can I use it that they could call home for real? I mean,
damn.
It's that bad.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Yo, and you know what's crazy? You know what's so crazy is that they're so bad that lineup is so good, but they can't get enough pitching to go to that yard that they're going to lose 100 games again.
Yeah.
Even with that lineup being as great as it is, that lineup is great, and they're going to be bad. Boy.
Chef Mamba's comment here. He says they all crashing at Sevy's house. Yo, by the way, Chef Mamba, thank you for always supporting us. Now that you say that, we about to put you on the spot, bro. So let's highlight this comment real quick. How's Sevy doing? Because we know you've done some work with Luis Severino in the past. Do you guys still have a relationship? Just real quick, let us know. We want to know.
And real quick, don't think I don't be seeing them plates on Instagram, brother. When there's a 27-ounce thing, you know who we calling to come cook.
Oh, yes. Honestly, now that you said that, if we ever get the opportunity to, and Stefan and I would love to do this, right? We aren't there yet, but when we ever get a chance to like do a live show in person, yo, maybe we could like collab with, Chef Mamba, have him come over and he would be the person who puts the meals together, right? That would be fire.
Yeah, man.
I mean, listen, we ain't there yet, but it's okay for brothers to think in advance.
I'll be seeing some of the plates that be on the Instagram page, brother. Don't think I don't see. Don't think I don't see. Yeah. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? 35th birthday coming up in 2 years. I think I might know who to call. Yo, come cater the whole joint. You know what I mean? Listen, man, it's see, and this is what we got to talk about because I'm gonna be honest. I wish the A's were better. I wish the A's were better. I really do. I wish they were better. I wish we could talk more about the A's because Tyler Soderstrom's a hell of a player.
Got a response? What he said here?
He's good. I was just telling bro to play the WBC. Wow.
Really? Interesting. That's a name that hasn't come up yet, even though I know he can play for Dominican Republic.
I wonder if the A's let him, though.
Right.
Because, number one, we might try to trade you at some point this season. If you're good, we might try to get off your contract. So I wonder if it's you know what I mean? If the A's are like, nah, we don't really want to do them. So
yeah. And if you really think about it, too, like that's like what they gave to Severino is also a lot of money, too, right? Like for them. So I know for other teams, it's really nothing. But for them, they kind of have to be careful because they don't typically give, what they gave to Severino to just any pitcher,
Yeah, it's so, and in that market, you got to overpay. That's clearly what that's about is you got to overpay.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he was still a Met. I think he does too. But when somebody offering you what they're offering you, you know what I'm saying? You got to You got to play in Siberia at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, Real funny thing. Speaking of the A's, their trademark was declined for the Vegas Athletic and the Vegas A's.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those trademarks were declined by the. I forgot who declined it, but it's nasty. So the A's either gonna have to find a new name that's not the Athletics, or you're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to figure something out.
Rick says the traveling circus, formerly known as the Athletics.
Yo, somebody play the Benny Hill music in the background, bro. Play that circus music out here.
Yo, oh my gosh. Yo, I
Yo,
haven't gone to the circus in years, bro. I can't even tell you when was the last time I went.
yeah, word. Me neither. But last time I went though, the best thing to go now, if you want to go to the circus, I heard going lit is the vibe. Like if you go lit.
I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe it could be more enjoyable. Plus, with all the crazy lights and everything else going on, you know.
All right. So Rick says the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office declined the trademark. Wow.
Oh, that sounds serious.
There goes that. Yeah, but Rob Manfred let him move to Vegas, and we don't know if we're gonna be able to keep the name. Oh God. Speaking of moving and things changing, so there's an article that came out today from Katie Wu and Evan Drellick. FanDuel Sports Network is going into bankruptcy. Major League Baseball might have to own 9 more broadcasting rights for 9 more teams.
Wait, isn't FanDuel Sports like one of those companies that's big on like giving out their money? What happened?
So FanDuel Sport, obviously FanDuel's a betting network, but they are also in the business of RSNs, which is regional sports networks. So they bought out Bally's, who has the Cardinals, the Braves, a bunch of teams. But they defaulted on their last payment. And their last payment was, I think, a little more than $250 million.
Wow.
So if they don't get this paid by the 15th, reports are Dazen wants to buy the FanDuel Sports Network. They have the Rangers as well, yes. So I wonder if baseball just says, second time they declined it, I think. Oh, okay. After taking all that money, it's crazy.
Damn, for a lot of people too, you know.
Yeah, but what it shows you is that their betting and their RSNs are on 2 different sides of the business. It's not.
Oh, okay. So this doesn't have to do with the gambling side of things, right?
They still have the FanDuel name, but they're not. Both sides of the business don't touch each other. I don't believe.
Got you. You see that my thing is, I think of FanDuel automatically. I think of gambling, bro, and I blame all these damn freaking ads. And you hear, oh, today's show is sponsored by such and such. You see, I didn't say FanDuel there. They're not paying us. Notice how I said such and such. Y'all gotta hit us, and please hit us soon because we ready.
Listen, man, any of y'all sports network, sports betting networks out there, y'all already know what to do, man.
You know, I want to ask the chat a question because there's gonna come a time when it's gonna happen, right? Now, chat, I know you guys love us, and you know we appreciate the fact that you guys always show up. Shout out to our people on social media too. I don't know how many of you guys watch the show, but just shout out to the love, you know, in general, right? But would it bother you guys when, you know, we're still going to do the show for however long that we do it for, right? But if it gets to a point where, yo, we got to take like a 30-second break, a quick, you know, maybe 60-second break to pay the bills, if you know what I'm saying. Like, would you guys be okay with that in the future? Because that's the goal here. Thanks to you guys, though, you know, you guys make it possible. I love to always make sure I don't forget to give you guys your flowers.
He said, "Nah, do it, bro. Do whatever you need to get that coin. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. I tell you this though, the more that we get the more follows we get and things like that, right? Um, I really think, you know, it's also going to put a bigger spotlight on the sports itself. We already seen gambling scandals and things like that. Now you're going to have to tighten it up even more because if we running in there with sponsorships, you know what I mean? What they going to say about, oh, y'all did it for the money. Y'all sold out. Y'all, nah, fam. We ain't taking no money off the backs of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? We might place a bet or two.
Right.
By the way, we already got the promo code 27 ounce. If you listening out there, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Nah, I mean, uh,
Oh,
hey,
okay. Chef Mamba, he says we good as long as we upload on socials. Oh, so you rock with the shorts, the clips. Hey, listen, we appreciate whatever the love is, whether it be
word, hell yeah,
you watching the live show, enjoying the clips, and whether it be a like, a comment, like Stefan and I earlier today, you know, we saw that the YouTube was kind of going crazy, but in a good way. I don't know if you guys had seen what we put out this morning, but it was in regards to well, yesterday rather, right? It was about yesterday,
yeah,
but I guess it came across a lot of people's feed today. And a lot of people were telling us, some of the stories when it comes to, older folks, maybe parents and what they deal with. We also had hockey fans, leave a comment too. So for those of you guys who don't always catch like the full show, or even if you just want to interact with people, pay close attention to the comments, especially on the TikTok. You guys could literally go crazy over there. Like we have people, with the way you guys going right now, to be honest.
nah, they be in there, on some WWE brawling with each other in the comments, bro.
Right. And you know what? I gotta be honest, man. And Chef Mamba, I'm not coming for you, but Stefan and I know we can both agree to this, but listen, the clips are already short as they are, folks. Why are you only watching the first 10 seconds and already leaving your comment when we literally addressed what you guys are saying? Y'all drive me crazy. How short do you want the show to be? We go from an hour and some change, right, for the full show. We make y'all 30, 45-second, 60-second clips. And it's crazy how me and Stefan are looking at each other. And he's like, yo, this guy, if he only stood on the video for like 10 more seconds, he would have gotten his response. At that point, what you want me to knock on your door with a plate? Like, yo, here's what we said about what you left your comment on.
I'm telling you, it's just people don't. The attention spans of people are ridiculous nowadays, bro. You've been sitting through a clip for 15 minutes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What, bro? That's crazy, bro. I mean, like it's.
All right, don't get me wrong.
But it's the world we live in now. You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of.
I understand where it comes
you have to kind of. You have to kind of. And for the people that stay and watch the entire thing, we appreciate it because that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
the other thing I wanted to say too, like Stefan said, for the people who actually stay for the entire show, we also highlight some of your comments in those clips, guys. So you'll see, like, now it's depending on what was said, right?
yeah.
Because not everybody's gonna be highlighted. Sometimes we don't highlight comments at all. But you'll see people responding to what we say in that video, but also what the comment is as well, depending on whether you were the person who left it or not.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, but you gotta understand, true, like detail is everything. And I think me and you understand that. Detail and context is everything. And if you don't grasp the full content of what we're saying, it's I mean, we might have to go back to school and learn some comprehension or something because you ain't reading, you're just listening. Your listening skills, it ain't that hard. Anyway, I had fun, y'all. This was fun. I think to end this, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna reiterate it again. If there's 10 of y'all in here right now, I need to see 10 likes on this video. Also, we're gonna put a poll up. We're gonna put a poll up. We're gonna put a poll up in the coming days. if you guys want to start, if you guys want us to start a Discord, you gotta do me a favor. You gotta help us get the 300 subs. If you help us get the 300 subs, the Discord is open.
Where are we at right now? Let me see. 277. So it's 23 away from 300.
Right. So if you help us get the 300, the Discord will be open.
Mm-hmm.
So tell your friends that love baseball. If you know anybody that loves the game, if you want this Discord cracking so y'all can come in here and do this, know what I mean?
Right. And also let's really hope that something actually takes place and we don't have to go away for longer than 5 days, you know? Because I know once upon a time on this channel, recording once a week, 7 days going by, that was normal, right? It was the norm. It was something that we were all used to, Steph and myself and whoever it was that was watching at the time. But with the way that we've been growing, with the amount of people who show love, of course, during the live show right now, and with the clips, we're getting to a point now where the new norm is now, being able to, if we can, record minimum 2 times within a week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys know Stefan and I ain't afraid to go 3-4 times if we have to at that. But 2 times, like that might be the norm.
2 times might be the norm. Listen, man, but y'all got to get these numbers up though.
Stefan got 2 phones, 2 shows per week. I mean, yo, two might be the lucky number of this year. Who knows?
We at 278, so we got one.
Okay.
We got one. All right. So listen, here's a challenge for y'all. I'm gonna make a challenge for y'all. Pause on that, bro.
Wait, what was it that I said? What was it that I said?
Yo, 3-4 times a week. Hit the pause on that, bro.
Oh, in terms of recording. Nah, this guy Rick. Nah, I'm gonna give you that. That could have been worded differently. Nah, but in terms of the long form content, right? Because obviously the clips are daily, but doing this, it is work for us, obviously. But Stefan and I, we love it so much that it don't feel like work. I don't really know how to break it down, but that's what it feels like sometimes.
Phone's here, man. It's just off. Phone's in here. I got the phone right here. It's off though, bro. It's close. Mm-hmm. It's close by.
The next time we do a show 3 to 4 times in a week, I'm gonna make sure I shout out Rick.
Yo, pause, bro.
Yo. Oh man.
Super pause on that one.
Yo, I missed you guys, man. Shout out to everybody who showed love on that very first episode, right, of the year. Got a lot of love on that.
Hell yeah. Yo. Super pause, bro. Damn.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we not pausing this episode. We not continuing this episode. This episode is over, y'all. I had a blast. This was fun. Thank y'all so much, man.
Armand, we didn't forget. We're going to get you on soon, bro. Before February. February.
For sure, man. We didn't forget you. Chef Mamba, we see you, bro. Don't duck us. Don't duck us, dog. We see you. We got to get you on here, man. Some of those recipes and all that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. And we'll see y'all soon, man. Hopefully we get some more news so we can come back on here and have fun with y'all.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't want to go on another 5 to 7 day hiatus. Like, if we can come back in 3 to 4 days, like, I'm down.
All right, TD, you want to get in on this action, bro? All right. We got to get a couple things squared up, man. But we'll talk to y'all soon, man. Have a wonderful evening, man. Appreciate it. Peace.